You are now listening to
The Really Joe podcast. Really Joe.
All right, so today we have a young power couple. We have Alex from Love Thy Locks, and we have Detrick from Club DJ, a fitness brand.
Yeah,
How y'all doing today?
doing well, brother. How you doing?
All right, man. I'm still kicking, man. Still kicking. I can't complain.
Yes,
But
sir.
we got a serious topic, man. I finally found a couple who's willing to, talk about a serious conversation that a lot of people, I'm sure, have experienced or will experience in the near future. And that's raising somebody else's kids,
Yeah.
or kid. So, of course, this is going to be, I'm going to start with Detrick because we know them Tay-Tay kids. They came out of all that. We got that, right? So, y'all have one son together, right? The youngest?
Yeah,
Okay. How old is your youngest?
he's two.
Two. Then this is your first kid.
Yeah, it's my first kid.
And Tay-Tay, this is your second. How old is your oldest?
He's 9.
He's 9. Okay. All right. So, Detrick,
Mm-hmm.
when you first meet a woman, are you hesitant to, especially seeing the fact that y'all are married, are you hesitant to get into a serious relationship or marriage with someone who already has a child?
At first, I was, but then again, I was like, I grew up as my mom came in, well, my stepdad came in, and I was the only child. So my first expression was like, well, I kind of went through this already. So growing up, I had a stepdad, and I was like, man, maybe I can take that role, and man up and be in that position. So it really didn't phase me, but at the time, it was kind of new. Of course it was new, but after a while, it just got natural to me.
Okay. All right. So like you have a good relationship with your stepdad?
Well, oh yeah,
Yeah,
he taught
so
me a lot.
okay. Like what age were you when he came in to your life?
I was 8 when he came in,
Okay.
and
So
when I came into Dalen's life, he was 3.
3.
Yeah, so
okay.
I was already in that stage of like, who is coming in the house type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I accepted because he treated my mom nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you treat mom nice, we good, bro.
Okay. So Alex, I can't remember if I called you by what I normally call.
Hey, but it's all right.
Oh, I did. Dang, my bad. So, all right. So seeing the fact you're coming into the relationship with a child already, did you think that was going to be a deal breaker for whomever came into your life, or in this case, your future husband?
I did. I kind of did for a minute, but because I was the one too before having a child, I ain't trying to have no man that got no kids. And so, but it kind of humbled me, I guess, because now I can't be too picky because I got one.
Right.
But I did. I was like, and then he ain't got none, so I'm like, but it is what it is. We'll see.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Deirdre. When a woman comes into your life, she has a kid already. Do you immediately ask about how the child's father is? Like if he's active in the life, is he somebody you might potentially have a problem with down the road? Do you ask like those type of questions?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I came in, I was like, well, how is he? Is he in his life, or do I need to play my role and just not be overboard with it? Like, let him come in when it's time to pick him up. Don't be too much and let him go. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah, it was all right.
Okay, so Alex, do you have a pep talk with the child of with the father of your oldest child? Like, look, this my dude. Hey, I don't need you to be on no nonsense with him. You know what I'm saying? This who I'm rocking with. Let's just be respectful. Let's be adults.
I don't even know if I had that conversation because I was so far on like what I do over here is what I do over here. You ain't you're not active enough to even have a say so. It's what I feel like.
Okay.
So no, we didn't really have to have that conversation.
Okay. All right. So, usually like in that type of situation, the father of your child is gonna have a problem with another dude being around his kid. So he never mentioned that to you at all?
No, not really.
Okay. So he pretty much non-existent.
Halfway. I want to. I would want to put it out there like that to make it sound deadbeat, like you don't. But it's like it's not. You know.
It's just
especially since we live in Fayetteville now and they still back home, so it's kind of hard to even be like, oh, I'm coming and going, because that's 4 hours away. You know, we just gotta do what we do over breaks and stuff like that. I mean, they call and talk to each other every week, you know, but it's not the same as being there face to face.
right. It's like basically, it's like it's an over the phone relationship, not spending time with them, right?
Right.
Okay, so for you, Dietrich, as a man, one of my guys told me this, and he raised somebody's child, you know, but he was like, I have to leave room for his real daddy to do certain things with him. You know, he can't just be, you know, all the way in the mix. You know, he got to leave that room for that guy. Is that something that you either had to figure out, or did you just know that going in?
I already knew that going in. I was just like, he was here before me, you know, and whatever relationship they built, I can't come in and just take over and do that. And I'm just gonna play my part. You know, whatever he don't put in, I make sure I take up the slack of it.
Okay. So I seen the video Alex had posted. I think it was you at his football game.
Oh yeah, bro. I was excited, man.
Yeah, you was running down the sideline with the phone.
With the phone, man. Focus.
Alex, what was that like for you to see that?
It excites me because I mean, just to know that he don't have to do that. Like, and a lot of stepdads don't go that far with it. But it's like he been here since they was 3. Before he started any sports, they didn't know nothing about. I mean, it's in his bloodline because his dad played sports, but he ain't know nothing about it. Like he done did all the groundwork and you know the practicing and all that stuff. So he deserves to be excited and running down the sideline, you know, with them like that.
Right.
So I look.
So what does your Dietrich, what does the oldest son call you?
He calls me Dietrich, but when I pick him up from school, he makes sure the teachers know there's my stepdad. But that's fine with me because that's what I am. I'm your stepdad. You know?
Yeah. So who, like, is that something he just picked up on his own, or like did one of y'all, you know, one of the 3 of y'all had to talk to him like, hey, this your stepdad, like, you know, let's not get it mixed up, you know?
Yeah, we did. When he started to realize it, like, yeah, I'm your stepdad, this your dad. We just broke it down to him and he accepted it. He know what's up.
Man, I think that's really great, you know, that y'all did that, because I really feel like that's the best way to be, you know, because you probably don't want you probably don't want the kid growing up saying, oh, I got 2 daddies. You know,
right.
It's
like, right.
You know, it's no confusion there, you know, like, no, this your dad, this your stepdad, but I'm sure he has a better relationship with you than his real dad, because you know he with you every day, you know.
Every day.
All right, so Alex.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got a question. Whenever you get pregnant with your now soon to be second child, do you think that it's going to be different once that second child comes to play by your husband?
Yes, most definitely. There was a thought like I hope because he don't have a son. This is his son. And then him and they got a tight relationship, but they have their moments, you know, because he had to work his way to get there with them. Yeah. And they have some moments where he like, you the worst stepdad, you know, just say stuff, kids, you know, and then now, you know, he like, well, you know, I got this my son. So, and you know, you know, but I was a little worried, but at the same time, I think, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you before, but I know I feel like I've said, you know, like we still do, you know, treat him the same. I don't have to say it, but it's like, you gotta, you know, look and like, she's still playing with him like he was playing with him. And, you know, it's a thought, but it really never became a problem. Like
okay.
I was a little scared about it though. You know?
All right. So, Dietrich.
What's up, bro?
All right. So this your first kid, right? Your first of your first from you. You know what I mean? So I'm sure it was a great feeling once you probably broke the barrier and developed that bond with the oldest son.
Mm-hmm.
But what's it like seeing your first kid come into this world? Like, better yet, let me ask you this. What's the difference between breaking the bond with the oldest and then seeing your first child being born?
Well, I'm gonna say it really was a difference, but I mean it is because this is mine. He's got my looks, everything. But yeah, I don't know.
It's just hard to explain.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a little bit of my personal opinion. And I had a talk with one of my buddies. He's been with like his stepson since he was like 3 years old. Then him and his wife had their first child together. And just from my personal experience, I've had two step families. And I was probably around my step family more than my real family. But I used to always tell my partner, and I was like, look, man, I don't mean this in a bad way. I'm not saying that it can't be great, but I'm like, with your kid, I'm like, you're going to love your kid 100% unconditionally. Yeah. Without a doubt. Unless you just a deadbeat dude, which I know he's not. I'm like, you're going to love your kid 100%. You don't have to question that. Your stepchild might be 99. It could be 98. Yeah. But it's going to be a difference there. That difference could be very small. Mm-hmm. But it's a difference regardless. Because let's just say, this was the example I would give them. Your stepson could be acting up, doing some crazy stuff. You like, I don't know where you get this from. But with your child, if he's acting up, okay, he either got it from me or his mama. Mm-hmm. It's one of the two, like that's it, And it's gonna be some things that probably your stepkid might do, and you just can't put your finger on it. Like, I don't know why he does this, and you try to parent him the best. But it's just like, it's a little different with your own, kind of like, I did a couple of episodes of growing up in a step family, and I was like, I couldn't be loving and hugging on my stepmama. I couldn't. Right. I couldn't. That's can't happen, because my daddy would feel away, like if we was always hugging on her and, being overly affectionate, whatever, he would feel away. So it's like, as a kid, I kind of learned my boundaries, with them. Like, my daddy wasn't like that either, but, I just, you learn as a kid too. Right. So for Alex, is that something that kind of floats in the back of your mind? Because, of course, everybody wants to picture perfect family, everybody to jail, everybody treated equally, everybody happy. But, there's always that, that small little bit where it's like, okay, is he treating him different because that's not his kid? Things like that. Does that ever come into question for you?
No, not really. Because, he don't. And that's good. He really don't. In my face, he don't. I know it's times where he get irked with Dalen. We all get irked with each other in the house as a whole. Yeah. But I don't think he would ever do anything different. And it could be because you remember when we first got together.
Oh yeah, he wasn't having it.
Dalen really, and I didn't think that it would be like that because he was 3. You expect if your child is older and a new man come in for them to kind of give a pushback, but you 3, like, what do you know? He really gave him a hard time at 3.
He did.
You get in, and I remember one time, and for him to be so young, that him and Dalen would just bump heads sometimes, and it was something that happened. And he was just like, man, well, whatever. He was pretty much kind of like, I ain't got to worry about winning over the child. I'm trying to win over the mom or whatever.
It was there. Like,
I was like, oh, because if it ain't right with y'all, it really can't be right with us. Yeah. And that was at the beginning. Like, I get what you're saying, but no, in this, because it's me and Day. it's just been me and Day. So when you come in here, it's me and Day. If Day ain't rocking with you, or if you can't peel back his layers or figure that out, then it's really not no us. So
I think that's great. I think that's great that you say that because, you know, when I was younger, I felt like my dad had chose his wife over our happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it basically wasn't about us. It was about them, you know, and we just catching the back seat. But I think that's really great. So the first time it came time for your husband or fiance or boyfriend at the time to discipline your child, how did that go?
I'm trying to remember. I do remember you probably done popped.
Yeah, I done popped them. It's probably just one time that I was just like, dude, stop. But other than that, I don't really.
And I think they maybe said something to me, say that you popped them or something, and I think it was just like a simple like, what was it for? Like trying to figure out what happened, and then it was just like, just let me know, because I mean, not that if he do get disrespectful, not to say that you can't tell him to stop or whatever, but I barely whoop him, so I really don't want you whooping them, or unless it's or you putting your hand on them, unless it's but I ain't gonna say that it can't never happen, but he really ain't never had to whoop them, but he had you need to, or he take the iPad, he send him to, he can do but
we definitely straighten it out. We get straightened. We get straightened, but I don't. Sometimes I don't get to. I try not to do more physical things. So like I said, I'm a trainer, so I make him do push-ups. I make him do wall sits. There are other ways I can make your mind get right. You know what I'm saying? So,
you mean like the wall sits with the arms out?
Oh, arms out, legs shaking. Like, yeah, he didn't like that. So I'm like, act right, you want to do that again. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a way of me not making me being more physical.
So discipline, free will, but hands on, I just don't, I don't really.
Okay, so it's like you're okay with your husband punishing your child, but you don't want him to whoop him, really.
Right. But I don't even whoop them. The thing is, I've got to try to get away myself from whooping and just, more of a gentle parenting is what we're working on.
All right, I got you. So
I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school. Hey, all I gotta tell you, one time, but you're right.
Yeah. So look, Dedrick, is that something that whenever any one of the boys is acting up, is there something in the back of your mind like, okay, I can't just whoop them, but I don't, because you don't want to cause no friction between you and your wife, you know? So it's like, all right, I gotta do some punishment, but because you don't want to, start no issues,
And that's also working on me. That's like, if they do something just extreme, I just take a deep breath first and just think about it. Like, okay, why did he do that? Before I just strike. But if it's something real bad and severe, I'm gonna have to apply that pressure. But before then, I just take a deep breath. Like, why'd you do that?
And see, I know as a parent, sometimes my kids do something, I just might just reach back there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I done let it build up. And it's like, look, I done told y'all to stop. Y'all keep going on. And it's like a reflex. Like one day, I hit my kids with this, real quick. And so I hit my oldest daughter in the chest. Boy, she looked so shocked. She was like, I was like, I done told you to stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now you pushing my buttons,
Right.
But at the same time, I know that I don't have to worry about their mom getting upset. And if she was to get upset, it's like, hey, them my kids too. You know what I'm saying?
And that just go over time with me and her building our getting closer. It's me being new. I just can't come in and start whooping your kid. That was my mindset coming in. I was like, I'm not finna come and do that. That's her job. I got into a lot of times like, hey, he ain't finna talk to you like that, or tell him to clean his room, or I'll go to her first and be like, tell him to go do that. And if she don't, then I'm gonna have to be like, hey, you ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. That's when I step in and rule over,
Yeah.
With her oldest son. But with mine, I do whatever.
All right, so let me ask you this, Alex. Do you think the day will ever come to where the discipline is solely on your husband, and that's just gonna be it? You're not gonna like worry about anything. He's basically gonna be, because he has young boys. Y'all have young boys, so most times the father is the disciplinarian, like regardless, like no matter what happens, especially when they get teenagers.
Right.
And they bigger than you. Your whoopings don't really hurt the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
So have you thought about that? Like when they get older, like more than likely he's gonna be the sole person to discipline them.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it, but I feel like that when that time comes, it's gonna be that time. Even now, him and he'll be telling them to do something, and they got a mouth. He don't like to just get the answer and be quiet. He wants to come back with something. So
Yeah.
and that you could get him in check, and I'll be in the kitchen having the urge to just turn around and say, but I'll let him handle it. So even now I let him handle a lot of the stuff on his own when it comes to day, because I don't want to constantly be butting in and it's like mama is over. No, he over it, but if it I may, but most of the time I try to just I'll be in there and I just keep doing what I'm doing and act like I don't even hear what they got going on.
Yeah.
And let them handle it.
Yeah.
So
I've been on the other side of that, where my daddy could whoop us and nothing would be said. But if he tried to whoop my stepbrother and stepsister, their mama would be like, hey, why you whooping them? And after a while, they would start running to her. Like if he tried to whoop them, they'll take off running. They'll go run to their mama. And most times they wouldn't get a whooping. And I'm like,
wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like we could take a beating because we his kids. She not gonna intervene. But when he was used to try to discipline them, it was different. And the kids realized that, we realized that, and it was never the same, and that carried on, forever. Tell me about your worst day, either as a step parent.
Let's see. Worst day as a step parent. It has to be when he was younger, when we first started. He really didn't want to listen to me, what I was just saying. It wasn't me being petty. I'm just like, okay, it's time to go to bed, put your iPad up. He just ignored me. I'm like, dude, come on, man. We trying to work together, get right. Yeah, it was just time he had a little mouth, just saying little stuff. I'm just like, dude, I'm all right. I'm trying to work with you. Just calm down. I'm telling her, hey, get your son, because he back talking. He telling me, you ain't my dad. He told me that a few times. You're not my dad. I'm like, I'm not your dad. I get that. But right now in this position, you're going to listen to me because you in my house. You know what I'm saying? You in my area, So that's pretty much it. Like, he got a little mouth on him, but we straighten it out.
Okay. So Alex, that's your husband's worst day as a step parent. What was your role in that on that day?
I thought, is you talking about the time when he was like, no, I'm nothing like you? That's not the time.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Because that's what I thought you was about to say.
Yeah.
But that day, I don't know if I remember that particular day, but I think you timed that into, that's maybe the same day. And like, so the thing that happened on what I'm thinking he was talking about. So Dalen, he's smart, but sometimes he puts stuff, he watch a whole lot of movies and he takes stuff that he gets from movies and say it. So that day I think he was
trying to get him to do push-ups.
Trying to get him to do some push-ups. And he was like, here, do some push-ups so you can be strong like me. And Dalen said, no, I'm nothing like you.
Like,
we both were shocked. I didn't know what to say because I didn't know where it came from, but I know how that made him feel, because it's like, where you get that? Where did you get that from? You ain't never said nothing like that. And the way he used it in context, then it was like, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He was
And
young when he said that.
he
So
was
I'm
like
like,
4.
yeah, I'm like, okay, this.
And he felt sometimes he's like, you know what, I ain't finna like. He was pretty much through. Like I'm done
I was done, bro.
trying to make him like And then he was going. We was in Hope still then, so he going back and forth from your dad's to us, and we didn't know if he had picked it up from there or what. Turns out I was in there watching a movie with him, and it was a movie, and it was somebody who was like, just like me, and he's like, no, I'm nothing like you. And I tied it together like that's where he got that from. Like, so it really wasn't. It was personal. It felt personal, but it really wasn't. So
it did.
But for the longest, until I sat there and watched that movie with him, and that scene came through, and I connected it, I was just hurt for him because I didn't even know. I didn't know where it came from, and didn't know how to make it right or what that was. And that was like, I was like, this right here, I don't want a household that's gonna be like that.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Alex. Why not let that day be one of the days that you whooped him?
Because too, it's like he's nothing like him. Why would I whoop him for saying I'm nothing?
I mean, because it's truth in it at the same time.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it was just like, no, I'm nothing like you, but I couldn't just whoop him because he said what he felt is what I'm feeling like. Because as a child, I know I got whoopings a lot of times for just speaking, talking. It's like talking back, and I want my child to be able to express themselves and not just get a whooping because you said it ain't like he cussed them out or hit him or something. He said, I'm nothing like you. I hated it, but I just didn't feel like he needed a whooping for it.
Okay, well, look, I'm not promoting that. To each his own. Like if you don't believe in whooping your kids, fine. But just coming from a man's point of view, I feel like it would have been setting the boundaries. Like, look, don't disrespect that man. You know what I'm saying? Like if he asks you to do something, do it. And if you disrespect him, I'm gonna whoop your butt. So either listen to him or I'm gonna whoop your butt. That's just the way I look at it. And to me, is you gotta. I used to work in a call center. They used to always say, set the boundaries early.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a line that don't need to be crossed, especially, for your future husband, or I'm not sure if y'all married at the time, but this is somebody you're looking at, he's gonna be around.
Right.
So it's just, just setting the boundaries to where it's like, all right, you keep trying this in the future, this is gonna happen. This wasn't gonna happen every time,
Yeah, and that makes sense.
All right, thank you. But let me ask you this, Dedrick. Do you feel like sometimes, because most women are, not just Alex, do you feel like she's too lenient sometimes?
Sometimes. Yeah.
All right.
Like, it's some things that he do. I'm like, you need to check him on that. Like I said before but now I'm coming in. If he doing something out of line, I tell him clean his room up, fold his clothes. He listened to me now. That's because we done built that over years. We done built that bond and building everything together. So it's like he won't take it too offensive for me to say clean your room up compared to a few years ago when we didn't really know each other. He probably like, man, I ain't cleaning up. But now he like, okay, I clean up. It's more of that now.
Yeah. So look, I got like 2 minutes left, but I'm gonna have to send y'all another link. But before I do that, let me ask you this real quick, Dedrick.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, when you trying to, break that barrier, with your stepson, do you feel like you just had to be like overly nice or spoil them to try to break that barrier initially?
I would just I really just had to get on his level, like where he is. He liked to play with dinosaurs a lot. So I was just walking around like I'm a T-Rex. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get in a kid mode to like build him up with me. You know what I'm saying? He at one point he liked Mickey Mouse and stuff. So we run around the house, toss him in there like it's an airplane and just playing with him like that on a kid level instead of just coming in on things that I want. I had to see what he wanted. And then when he got comfortable with me, then I can go and put my input in like, okay, we level with you, now level up with me. This is what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. It kind of sounds like a little part-time job after you get through with
Yeah,
the job.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's like you got to watch them and learn them, and it's like, okay, I can jump in here and you know what I'm saying, build this bond.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. So look, I'm under a minute, so I'm just sending y'all another link if that's cool.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I gotta ask this question. You know, most couples, you know, I've been with my old lady 17 years this year, right? And I'm not gonna say it's always been perfect.
Yep.
So I know in relationships it's not perfect. So I'm sure, well, I'm not sure, but let me say, if you guys ever had an argument and it got to, well, hey, I'm just gonna leave. Oh, shoot, fine, get out, whatever. Do you how often, like if y'all ever been to that point, is the first thing that you consider the kids?
At the time,
Yeah,
well, we only had that one incident one time. You want me to tell them?
You can.
Was that about the $5, right? So it was at a time we were both in Hope, and it was at a time where we was both, going through financial issues. We had everything paid, everything was good, food and everything in the refrigerator, but we both was on a little financial little slump, and she had $5 in my car. So she dropped it. So I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna get that $5. You hear me? I picked the $5 up, and then it was like an hour later. She was like, "Hey, you meant that $5 did I leave $5 in your car?" I'm like, you did leave $5 in my car, but that mine. I said, no, it's not. So it went there. She was like, it's my $5. Yeah. I'm like, it went on. So I left. I was like, I'm gonna get my stuff and leave. She's like, fine, leave. I was in her place. So I'm like, I really can't talk like big dog, you know what I'm saying? I'm in her spot. So she like, get out. I'm like, man, I hit a block and came right back. I said, man, look, I'm sorry. Let me, that's your $5. You have it back. Let's work this out, That's only the biggest issue that we done had so far. Like, it was just over $5.
Hold on. So Alex, you was about to run your future husband off over $5?
I wasn't about to run him off. He the one said he was about to go. I wasn't finna let him make him stay, beg him to stay.
You knew he took that $5. You ain't even have to bring it up.
No, but the thing is, when he took that $5, like you was going to get something from the store, and you made it like you bought it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It wasn't the $5. It was not about the $5. The principle was like, I can't trust you. Can't leave my money in your car and you not tell me I left my money. Like, I don't. That's what it was. I don't trust you. You can't give me $5. My $5. That's what it was. My $5.
He was
so how you said $5. No,
Dalen wants to speak. He just, I don't know how, but he ran up on me and your video you did on his iPad on YouTube. He just came and showed it to me. Like, Mom, I see you. Why I can't be on the
yeah, I made it public today.
I see.
Yeah.
And he found it. I don't know how. Say hey.
Hey, I have to be in.
He said he would like to be on YouTube with you. He want to start his own YouTube channel.
Okay. All right. So look, let me ask you a question then. What's his name? Dalen?
Dalen.
Okay. Who's your favorite parent?
Favorite parents?
Yeah, who's your favorite
parent?
My family.
He's probably gonna say his grandma. He loved his Gigi. I mean, he loved his mama too, but his Gigi, he loved her a lot.
Oh, that's the person that spoils him, huh?
And he like
his dad too. He really loved his family a lot.
He don't like to choose between people. He gonna say everybody if he ain't gonna single out nobody.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to do, Dalen?
To play dinosaurs and get some tea, and it was fun.
What was the last part?
What was the last part?
The do was fun.
He just do fun stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. Who does the fun stuff with you all the time?
Tobias, I think.
Who's Tobias?
That's the baby.
Oh. Oh, okay. So he want to act like that. Okay. He gonna act like you weren't playing dinosaurs in the floor with him, huh, did you? Well, I tell you.
It's all good. I'm tossing them in there, catching them. I respect that, you know.
Hey, you forgot about that. I got
Forgot all about it.
Hey man, I got you, man. All right, so look.
It's good with Tobias.
Okay.
Hey man, he got some long hair too, man. Ooh.
Yeah.
What you say? He's 6?
He's 9.
9. Oh, so you've been around 6 years.
Yeah.
And he gonna act
Patience. A lot of patience, but
oh man, he gonna act
yeah.
like you wasn't doing
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm sacrificing my time, man. Shit.
All right, so look, let me ask y'all this. One day that young man gonna get married, right? Better yet, let's not even go that far. One day he gonna graduate high school. Hold on? He's 9. What's his next graduation? Do they do like a 4th grade graduation?
I don't know, but he's in the 4th grade now, and I know from here they go to a different school next year, but I haven't heard. I don't know if they do like a graduation or whatever.
Yeah. So, Didrik, would you be upset if his daddy come and he want to be all in the pictures, all proud, even though you there with him day in, day out?
I mean, I ain't gonna say I would, because I mean that is his dad, you know. But I would feel some type of way, like, man, hold up, let me step in, give me a couple photos, and I'll let y'all do y'all thing. I'm not gonna step on your toes and none of that. But and prime example, when I was growing up, my dad was kind of that same way, and I was good at football, but my stepdad was the one taking me to practice, you know, picking me up from practice, buying me my cleats and stuff. But whenever my name in the newspaper, or if I make a big play on the field, all you hear, oh, that's my son, that's my son. But hold on, you didn't take me to practice. You didn't buy me no, you know what I'm saying? So when I got old, I was like, man, hold on, I started realizing, like, wait a minute, you kind of faking, bro, because you didn't come do none of that for me. So I got to give him as much respect to my stepdad, you know, and that kind of draw the line between who I kind of love the most. I don't want to put it like that, but that's just how I go.
So, are you saying you love your stepdad more than your real dad?
No, well, I ain't gonna say I love him more, but it's kind of more of I care more for my stepdad than I do my real dad. If they both in an incident, I'm gonna be there for both of them. But when it all boils down to, you know, because my stepdad, he came in with my mom, you know, made her happy. Back in the day, my dad didn't make her happy, so it's like it goes more than that. You know what I'm saying? I think about that too. Like, you did my mom wrong, but he doing my mom right. You know, so.
Man, you know, it's crazy that you say that, right? You know the story I was telling you about a buddy of mine who raised his stepson from he was like 3, and you know, until now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To make a long story short, they had a physical altercation one day.
Wow.
You know, when the little boy got like 18, 19, which is crazy, right? Because he's been there from 3. Huh? What was that, Tater? I mean, what was that?
All this time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, exactly, right? So I asked his mom, I'm like, because you know, we all friends, you know, I've been knowing him since he was about 3 myself, you know, the little boy. And you know, he like 22 or something now. But I asked his mom, said, hey, do you mind if I talk to him? And she was like, no, go ahead. So I went back there, and because you know, I had that step family background.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey man, how could you do something like that to where you want to fight your stepdaddy? I said, man, you should have more respect for him than your real daddy, because
Right.
he decided to stay there and raise you. And I'm like, he there for you more than your real daddy is. Why would you want to get into a physical altercation with him? You know,
Right.
I'm like, if anything, you should take your hat off to that man. Cause I'm like, you might not understand this right now, but when you get older, it's hard to raise somebody else's kid.
Man, facts.
You know, and it's like you can't do nothing but take your hat off to somebody who wanna be there.
Wanna be there, yeah.
Not to mention, and when I did the episodes of growing up in the step family, when my daddy and his second wife divorced, we didn't like stay in contact with our step family. It was basically like we lost the stepmama, we lost the step family.
That's it.
We get a new one, we gotta adapt to that step family that we first initially got that bond and stuff with. We see him when we see him.
Yeah.
So it's like you should have more respect for that man than I hate to say it, than the actual father, because the actual father could have decided to stay there, just like if that same $5 was in the car, you know, hey, the real daddy could have been like, look, I'm trying to make this work. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to walk out on my kid, but that's not what happens in most cases today. But now you get somebody like yourself, Dietrich, and you for lack of better words, you get all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with what the baby daddy put your wife through. You got to deal with what the baby daddy put your stepson through.
Right.
And it's just like, you just got to sit there and take it. It just hits you in the face. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to figure out how to make it work versus, oh boy, he just dipped.
Yep.
You got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And to me, that's the thing. That's the thing that I hate, right? Especially as a husband. Husbands get some of the worst, especially black husbands. But, I do think husbands do get the short end of the stick a lot. Because, all right, check this out, right? Feel free to chime in, either one of y'all on this, right? It's a deadbeat daddy out here with some action, probably for the night. He probably got a woman on his side right now.
Yep.
And he don't even take care of his kids. How is that possible?
Man, it's crazy because when Tobias was first born and he not first seen her, I'm just like, how can anybody neglect this? This is amazing. This is from God. This is what I prayed for, and you just up and leave. Like, I don't understand it. I know the issues when you may have with your lady or whatever may be, but your creation, you just can't leave that behind, bro. And it just bothers me a lot to see a lot of men that just don't want to be there for their child. Don't forget what happened with y'all two. It's with your child, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even with that, man, it's kind of crazy because it's so many people had kids and never been in a relationship with the mother of their child.
Never. I ain't gonna say a lot of friends, but I have a few people that are my friends, whatever, that they don't be with the woman that they, did with. I'm like, dude, you can't be just going here and there and stuff. Everybody have a past. They do what they did, whatever, but it just comes to a point where you mature and be like, dude, listen and just settle down and just focus, bro. You ain't gotta be doing all that,
Yeah. And also, let me bring you back in, Alex. My bad. After my little rant, so considering all this stuff that me and Dedrick was talking about, like the things that you have to endure as a stepfather, as a husband, does that make you appreciate that man more than probably any other man except for your dad or grandparents? Something like that.
Most definitely, it do. Because like you said, he ain't have to choose that. He could have, when he saw that I had a child, he could have went on and you ain't got none, you don't have any. He could have went on and went the other way then. And then to have to come through and work your way in, you could have left then.
Yeah.
And now having to pretty much provide for you, feeding you. You have to do none of that.
We practice football, basketball, everything.
You take off. You stop going to do your workout class on Mondays so that you can have that time set aside to take day to practice at the park. You taking money out your pocket to go practice with him. Like, I appreciate it all so much. If you don't know, please know that I do.
Yeah. So was that something that you've ever kind of witnessed before from somebody, from like a stepfather or somebody playing that stepfather role before?
Me?
Mm.
No. No.
So
Not at all.
so he's like the first man you ever seen go out his way for another child that is not biologically his.
Yeah. Well, I have an uncle that he had 4 boys, but the oldest wasn't his biologically, but he was there since he was like a baby, and he treated him like his. Like we didn't even know that wasn't his child until we was older and mess around and heard it in the family, but we didn't even know that wasn't his child. So I did see an uncle of mine do that,
Right.
but
So he about the second man then.
That's like 1 out of 10 though.
yeah,
Do that.
Right. And that's where I'm going with it. It's crazy because most people are not willing to do it,
Yeah.
and that's sad. It's like as black men, it's really sad.
If we post a picture of all of us together, it'd be a lot of people come in and just be like, man, I'm proud of him for stepping up. Like, it's a lot of people that look at that and be like, man, I salute. I get messages, I ain't gonna say all the time, but in that occasion, they'll, man, I salute you, bro. You a real man, bro. One of my best friends, he tell me all the time, like, bro, you a real man, bro, because you came in this situation and you manned up and got, disciplining him and all that, and he loving him like it's your own, and that's hard to do, but
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, man, and I think that's a good point to end off on, and it's even if the oldest son don't, well, I mean, it sounds like he's getting it, but one day he's really gonna get it, when he gets a little older, and he's really, man, that might be y'all first heart to heart talk, and where you say, hey, man, I really appreciate you because you're gonna be there in spots where his daddy can't be there. And if with you accepting and embracing that role, man, it's a really great thing, man. Like just being honest. And hey, being honest, we need more guys out here like you, man.
For sure.
And especially one that's gonna marry our black women.
That's true.
And try to build a family with them.
Stand around, lock it up, bro.
Yeah.
Lock it up, man.
Yeah, I always try to push that on, certain guys I know. I'm like, why you ain't marry that woman? She's, you like all this stuff about her. Why not marry her? Don't make her your baby mama. Like
I promise it's way much better on this side, bro. I promise it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So Alex, with that being said, don't foul up.
She good. She ain't gonna do too much. She's not too much to handle. She do get a little hard headed sometimes, but she.
Hey, they all are. They all.
Yeah.
But so look, y'all got any last remarks for our potential listeners, viewers?
I would just say for the women though, honestly, because like you said, it's not too many women that's gonna like lay. I ain't gonna say I laid the law, but like really make sure that man's not just trying to get you and that it's a package deal. I know some of them got multiple kids, and that's hard to try to come into multiples.
Yeah,
but like make sure that man don't just because you desperate for a man, don't just get one that's not gonna treat your child right. That still need to be your top priority. I don't care what's going on. So a lot of the stuff that's the step families that's not flowing right is because the main parent didn't set that standard or whatever. So just you got to be intentional about that.
Okay. And what about you, Detri? Any final remarks?
Man, to the man that's trying to do this, I would say go to God first for one, because he answer all your questions, all your answers, anything you need, he gonna provide. And I really have to come to God about this and like, what can I do to make this right? And it was just, like I said, it was the simple things. I just had to get back to the small things and what he liked to do and then build that bond up and then just mesh it together, you know what I'm saying? But be patient. It's being patient, take your time and just getting to know him before you just force everything out,
Yeah. And I guess if I have a final remark, since it's I'm the host. I always like to say, because I watch the news and I see a lot of kids that get victimized by their mom, their mom's boyfriend or their dad's girlfriend, right? Everybody that come in your life is not for you. You have to find that person that's for you, but you don't have to allow anything that comes into your life to stay there, And that's it, man.
Oh yeah, that's real. That's real. Everybody come through your life for a reason and a season.
Yeah. I mean, and I always say, man, everything in life is a learning lesson. Even the bad relationships, you learn from that. You don't be bitter about it. Let it go. You learn from that, And so that's what I always like to tell people. But to the Ratliffs, I appreciate y'all for joining me, man, and sharing some of y'all story. And hey, anytime y'all want to get back on, we got a topic, we can do it.
We can do that for sure.
All right. But until next time, people, we out.